The wrap up of what went down at Tour of Morocco. Team ProTouch recently came back from Morocco, where we took part in the Tour of Morocco. It was a 10-stage race covering a total distance of about 1,600 kilometers and about 15,000 meters of elevation. Myself and Rocco King were part of the 6-man squad that went to take part in the race. And because Morocco is on the north coast of Africa, it actually is quite close to Europe. So we saw a lot of European teams coming across the ocean to take part. I was expecting Morocco to be hot, warm, sort of like a desert, I would say.
Yeah.
And it actually turned out to be freezing cold, raining, and it was blowing like a gale force wind. We arrived there the day before the race. After about an 18-hour travel, we started racing the next day. Took a 5-hour transfer to the start of the race. And from kilometer 0, the guys smashed it, all the teams, and it was quite a shock to the system. The race split up in the first 5 kilometers, and a group of 15 guys went clear. That was the stage. Tour done, pretty much. Rocco was actually in the second group chasing. We had been dropped out the back. It was pouring with rain, absolutely. You couldn't even see the road, there was so much water. Stage 2, same story. Unfortunately, after stage 1, one of the riders, Mitch Elliott, got a bit of a stomach bug, so that saw the end of his race. When we're in Africa, that is quite a big challenge, is to stay healthy. Pouring with rain, freezing cold, lots of wind. A group came together on the last climb. Reinhard Butler, our stage 1 hopeful, made it over the top of the climb with the front guys, and unfortunately coming into the finish, the front lead vehicle took them the wrong way and the stage was neutralized. So unfortunately for Reinhard, that was one of our stages where we were targeting for the stage. In terms of logistics, how a normal day would work is we'd wake up in the morning. Each day we'd stay in a different hotel. So we would pack all our bags with our race numbers and our race kits into a small race bag that we got at the start. Our bigger bags would get loaded up into a big truck and taken to the next hotel. You're new to the team, first race in Africa.
So it was,
how was it?
It was my first race, so I must say stage 1 was the worst because I didn't really understand the protocol with bags and stuff. So I had ProTouch had given me rain gear and whatnot, but it was all packed into the wrong bag that was sent to the hotel. I literally started stage 1 pouring rain in just a shirt and arm warmers, and standing at the start line I was already sopping wet.
So that's a lesson. Always keep your rain gear and your warm clothes in the bag that's going to the start line. Normally at the finish of the stage we'd get loaded up into big buses and we would get transferred to the next hotel. Moving on to stage 3, that was the Queen stage for the race, 4,000 meters of climbing, 180 kilometers, and that was brutal. The race winner actually won the race on that day. A Belgian guy, very strong, well deserved, attacked 70 kilometers to go and rode 3 minutes into the bunch. In terms of general classification, we didn't quite know what to expect. The level of riding was very high. We kind of got our heads kicked in the first few days, so our GC hopeful was kind of out the door. Unfortunately, Songezo Jim and Reinhard Butler falling ill on stage 3 and stage 4. Reinhard we took there as our team sprinter. He was the guy that could win us stages. But Reinhard Butler pulling out on stage 4 was quite a knock to the system for us. We had to look for the breakaways going into each stage after that. Monet getting into a breakaway on stage 4 and stage 5, getting a top 10 on stage 5. I got into a breakaway on stage 9. That day was flat and fast, not too much wind on that day. First hour we raced at 51 kilometers an hour, and then I slipped into a breakaway of 3 riders and we got caught in the last 10 Ks, which was quite predictable. The bunch obviously wanted to sprint, so we averaged 47.3 kilometers per hour for the whole 188 kilometers. That is moving. That's the fastest race I've ever done. In terms of gaining UCI points, ProTouch's vision is to get South Africa back to the #1 ranked nation in Africa. We unfortunately did not get any UCI points, but if you compare it to how many African teams got UCI points, there weren't too many. Most of our competition racing there were the Europeans, so all the UCI points were taken by the Europeans. On top of that, we came back with a lot of experience. We learned a lot from the race, and we can go into our races going forward with a lot more confidence. Let's go to Rocco. What did you expect from the race?
I didn't know what to expect, let's say it like that, but everyone was saying that it was going to be challenging, it was going to be hard, and I'm definitely up for a challenge. It was that and then some more.
Rocco's from Cape Town, so he's gone from the Cape Town racing scene to now going to Morocco. Coming onto the team, we didn't really know you as well. It's a new team for you, and to go straight into this race.
For me, stage 7 was the hardest because my body and every mentally took a dip. I just picked myself up in stage 8, 9 and 10. I started not sitting in a bunch, but actually racing, attacking, going to the front, doing some moves. knowing more or less where to go to
Where
the
to
front
go
to
and
try
to
get to
follow.
the moves. Yeah.
This is what I kind of picked up. The racing would be flat out for the first hour for the breakaway to eventually get established. Once it was established, the GC contenders would go to the front of the bunch and kind of control the race. I must add as well for myself, the first 3 stages I was getting my head kicked in. By the end of the race, stage 7, 8, 9 and 10, I was able to go with the moves, attack and actually be part of the racing, which was quite nice to see. We kind of adapted quite nicely. Going forward, Rocco, what's your goals? What's your ambitions for cycling?
My goals and ambitions is to make cycling my full-time career. But I don't see myself sitting behind a desk and typing some numbers behind a computer and whatnot. I see myself outdoors doing what I love.
Turning up the volume. You got to pick it up, brother.
Hello!
There you go.
My goals is to make cycling my career, to not sit behind a desk and follow other people, but rather do my own thing, ride my bike, which I thoroughly enjoy. So I'll be doing East Rand Classic this weekend, adjusting to the altitude and the fatigue from the tour, but it's slowly coming back, and then it's heading back home to see the family for a while, which is quite exciting.
On the local scene, we have East Rand Classic coming up. That's a race in the road cycling series, points up for grabs, followed by the following weekend, which was the Cycle 100. It's a UCI 1.2 event. UCI points up for grabs. Only 6 riders per team allowed because it's the UCI event. Going forward, Team ProTouch, they're looking to get South Africa back to that #1 ranked nation in Africa. That's the ultimate goal, and also just to expose the riders to harder, faster racing. Rocco, what type of rider are you?
That's a tricky one, because I can climb with the boys, and I'm not outright climb, and I can sprint with the boys. I feel like I'm more of a breakaway rider that will bring
breakaway specialist.
Yeah, breakaway that will bring like 10 oaks to the line and be able to pump all 10. But I found that with lack of experience with African racing, know when to go. If you look at a lad like Monet, he's chilling, and then when he goes, that's the break. Yeah, he reads the race well, and I think that's just experience.
Rocco, you're still young.
I'm still 20 years old.
20 years old, so I mean, you're in your second year under 23. From a personal point of view, doing these races now, if I was able to get this type of opportunity, racing these UCI races at your age, hey, I probably could have been in a different part of my career. So
yeah.
It's a great opportunity for someone like me. Sure. Next race on the calendar for Team ProTouch is Tour of Gila in America. 6-man squad going to the Tour of Gila, followed by the Tour of Limpopo, which is a local event, a UCI race, 2.2 race in Limpopo.
Yeah.
And then it's a bit of a break
yeah.
for the team. We haven't got a schedule confirmed yet, but we'll let you guys know exactly what's happening once we know.